You've likely never heard of Louis Wain if you've ever seen drawings of these cats in absurd situations, highly stylized, these cats playing poker, for instance, wearing top hats or monocles, and then you've seen the work of Louis Wain. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He was an English artist who gained notoriety in the late 19th and early 20th centuries for his drawings of these cats. That's what he's most known for. He obviously loved cats, didn't really draw a ton of other animals, although he began his career as a conventional artist. By the 1890s, he had become interested in the new field of psychoanalysis and the emerging field of psychiatry. It was during this period that his art changed dramatically, becoming more surreal and hallucinatory. This film definitely has his heartwarming moments and definitely some heartbreaking moments as well. He follows his dreams no matter how bizarre they're going to be. He pursues his passion. The movie is a timeline of Louis's life, and it chronicles his descent of the once promising artist into madness. As his mental health deteriorates, his art becomes increasingly surreal and dark, and eventually leading to his commitment in an asylum. At this time, mental health was just beginning to be explored, and even then they were still figuring things out. So psychosis definitely made his art more surreal, and it's now believed that he suffered from schizophrenia, which unfortunately at the time there wasn't a lot of resources, and it's widely accepted that his mental illness is informed in his art. Like, he transferred it to his art, and his later years, as his mental health got worse and worse, his drawings just became so surreal. Many believe that his work provides a first-hand look at the workings of a schizophrenic mind. If you Google his early work and his later work, you'll definitely see a difference. After they've been diagnosed and treated, they know that they're sick, but they can't see the concerned looks of the loved ones' faces, but they feel like they're looking on the outside in, unable to properly communicate what's going on inside their heads, and especially using cats as well, which is typically, a calm animal and soft and not something we think of with, these very intense scenes. It's a fascinating character study which says as much about mental health as it does about art. Some people may find this disturbing, but I found it more interesting to see how mental illness can affect someone's creativity. That's done visually throughout the film as well. They do a great job of incorporating it. They convey his descent into madness. There's one scene where he's on a boat, and they do a really interesting job of showing how he's feeling, but might necessarily not be reality. It's not an easy watch, but it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in mental illness or the creative process. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch. Despite his mental illness, he continues to draw cats, and his work becomes more and more popular. The film culminates with his passing at the asylum and an exhibit of his work after he's passed away. It is a fictionalized account of his life, but it definitely captures essential elements of the story. It includes his personal life. He's married. He has siblings. It shows their relationship. Where he starts off at the beginning of the movie, where he ends up in the end of the film is completely different. He's very withdrawn, and it does a good job of showing his obsession with cats also. He begins to see cats everywhere, and overall, I enjoyed it. It was definitely not what I was expecting. I've never heard of this artist before I started watching it. I definitely had to look up some artwork after I finished. The film is a little strange and surreal, much like the artist himself, and it offers a rare glimpse into the mind of a schizophrenic artist. It's definitely worth watching, but as I've mentioned, they do go over mental illness and his creative process, so if that's not something you want to see, let me know in the comments. Are you familiar with this artist? Is there other films done about him? This was the first time I'd ever heard about him, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you've seen this and what your thoughts are.